Hello, it's Colette. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new, you're most welcome, and please stay. And thank you to everybody who has subscribed to the channel so far. You're all wee stars. Today I'm going to do a shortish video for me I've been asked to do it many times. In fact, I think this is one of the most asked things from subscribers, and it's how to protect yourself if you're an empath, a sensitive, a psychic clairvoyant or whatever, and you work in a caring profession, occupation, job or environment, because we normally find that people that are in caring occupations do tend to be empathetic, and they can become very overwhelmed normally with all the normal stuff that goes on, just like anyone else. But there's a layer above that where they can be very easily worn out, tired, swamped with all the energy that's going on. This can also be used generally if you work in a very busy place, but it's specifically for my subscribers who work maybe as nurses, carers, veterinary people, anything that's caring, hands-on caring around sentient beings. You need this help. And what I've done is just laid out a day as to what you could do along that day to help yourself feel better and to not absorb these energies. And as time goes on, using more and more of these little tips will help you. But remember, it takes 3 weeks to form a habit. It also takes 3 weeks to move away from a habit. So if you pick 2 or 3 and start going with them for 3 weeks, and once they've bedded in, maybe add some more. If you try to do them all at the one time from maybe not doing anything, it might just be a wee bit too much. So there's no big hurry, just start tomorrow, and make sure that you're taking steps to protect your aura and your psyche. And there's going to be an extra big tip right at the end of the video, so please stay subscribed. That's quite hard to say. If you want to find out more about my life as a clairvoyant and as an empathetic person working in caring profession for a while, my Memoirs of a Clairvoyant by Colette Clairvoyant is on Amazon's, all of them as paperback or Kindle. What a lovely cover is on this. You can see I like my blues. That's my that's my book. That's my tarot deck. And that's my background. So anyway, wait if you can for the final one, and make sure that you take it on board. Starting the day very early, you're waking up. The first thing I would do would be to do a cocoon meditation before I even got out of bed. So I would visualize a cocoon of white light being spun round about me, like I was like a little caterpillar in my cocoon. And it's a lovely thing to do because it starts you thinking of bright white light, and what better way to start your day as to bring in that white light towards you. Some people just visualise white light round about them. I feel that I feel like a cocoon sometimes feels tighter and stronger. You know, cocoons tend to be rock hard and solid, so I prefer to visualise the light spinning a cocoon, and that would normally take me about 3, 4, 5 minutes. So with that step done, I've wakened fresh, I've gone straight into protection. So that's the first step I would take. As you go towards the day, there are things that you could do. You could carry an amethyst crystal or black obsidian. I like both. If it's just general aggravation that's around you, sorry, I've got a dog trying to get up on me. If it's just general sort of aggro or sort of a sense of edginess, I would use amethyst. But if there's seriously where you go to work, there's a kind of very darkish energy, or it's so heavy with sadness, I would use black obsidian. I would carry black obsidian. Make sure your third eye isn't too open. Now, I know there's this, let's get all the chakras open or whatever, but the point is, if you're working in a place where there may be horrific illness, there could be death and people mourning, there could be tragedies all the time, or it could be just long-term caring of people who are very infirm. That all sort of is there, and it's important that the third eye isn't completely open, because why do you want to be in a full psychic awareness where you're in that situation? Now, don't get me wrong, you want to have your intuition working, you want to have your third eye opening to a normal or slightly above normal way, so that you can tune in when you need to and get, let your third eye tell you what's going on. But it shouldn't be completely open. And the problem with empathics and sensitives is they sometimes don't realise that they're not controlling their third eye. And I have a video about protection, opening up your third eye in a safe way, which is in a playlist. I'll try and link it down below. You shouldn't be in a stressful working environment with your third eye open to the level that maybe a professional clairvoyant or healer would use doing their work, where they need that third eye completely open. So please, if you are empathic, if you are sensitive, you need to be able to control your third eye a wee bit more. So have a wee look at the video on opening it up, and I'll also do one in the next few weeks on how to tune it down a bit. If you feel that it is highly open, then stop if you can and have a wee break and visualise a kind of sheet of metal coming down over your third eye, just like, or you can do an anti-clockwise spiral in the way. I'll do another full video on this, but you could even put a little black bindi on top, or you could touch your fingers to your third eye and say, no, 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 no. Anything that's letting your psyche know that it's too open, it needs to be pulled down. So if you feel that you are really, really open to everything, that's not good. That's the type of open third eye that professionals would use to give a reading or to do a healing. If you're working as a nurse or working as a pharmacist or a carer, you do not need your third eye open at that level, so please don't encourage it. One of the things that I like is mantras and affirmations. Now, the mantras can be, sometimes mantras can be seen as quite spiritual, religious things. Like if I'm going about my day and trying to keep myself kind of zoned and protected, I will do my Durga mantra, and it's just part of my day, and it keeps me almost like grounded and feeling protected by Goddess. You could do something towards either your own religion or none, or you could use a phrase, an affirmation such as, I am protected, I am strong. You could use something like, nothing will break through this barrier unless it's completely necessary. Or, I value the cleanliness of my aura, so I protect it. Something that's personal to you. I mean, they're only wee things. I certainly know that my Durga mantra really works for me, because it's something that I'm inclined to say a lot during the day anyway, but it draws me to the understanding in my psyche that I do have protection from Goddess. And that can be the same for you, for God, Goddess, the universe, whatever you believe in, angels, archangels, but use a mantra that is specific to you, and use it as often as you need. If you feel everything's building up and you're not having control of your aura, you could pull it right back in by doing a mantra. Now, whatever breaks you have, take them, and get out in fresh air if you can. It's important that you use your breaks to ground yourself. If you can get your socks and shoes off, great. If you can't, go out, breathe deeply, touch a plant if you can, and feel yourself rooted into the ground. It's really, really important that you manage to ground yourself every so often. And again, the black obsidian is a protective crystal, but there are really good crystals for grounding yourself. I like marble for grounding, and also hematite as well, and black agate. So crystals can help, but definitely getting out and just standing on the earth. It's important you take your breaks. I know that sometimes we work through them, but it's not good in the longer term for keeping your protection up. So ground yourself outside during breaks, but take little 30 seconds throughout the day to ground yourself, whether it's putting your hand in your pocket and feeling the grounding crystal, or whether it's just kind of just moving your sense of where you are down to your feet, and just quickly imagining roots going down. That sometimes even doing that for 5 seconds is enough to ground. And grounding is a tool that you should all use quite often. Another one, sometimes when we're not protected, all the energy gets sort of sucked into the aura, and a good way of sort of temporary cleansing it is to go and wash your hands. You really want to shake it off, and sometimes you can wash your hands and then under a dryer you can shake off. So when you're washing your hands, imagine that good clean water washing some of the negativity and the stress and tension away, and then double it up by shaking off your hands and shaking them under the dryer. And that's you shaking off the energy, and that you can do that without being seen as doing anything. Everybody washes their hands and shakes their hands off, but you're doing it with an intent, and that's the difference. But nobody will know. So that's a good one. Wash your hands as often as you can and shake off excess energy. Avoid energy vampires. There'll be really good people that you work with, and there'll always be one that sucks your energy and is always negative and is always ready to even gossip or, give you the lowdown on why things are bad. Put distance between you and them. That's the best thing to do, because otherwise you'll be cleansing and protecting yourself from them all day long. And there are other things that you need to be aware of. If you're in an environment with people who are very ill or even mentally ill, or there's loss, there's continual trauma or chronic pain, you need to protect your aura from that sort of thing. You don't need it distracted by an energy vampire. So get away from them. Try and work in a different space if you can, and just do your best to distance yourself from them. So do that as you're going through your day-to-day work. You've got distancing yourself from some sources. You can't distance yourself from ill people if you work with them, but you can distance yourself from the people that are negative and nap. Now, you do your mantras, have your crystals, wash your hands, ground, all these things. Now, as you're leaving your work, it's important, turn, and as you close the door, look back in and say thank you. Thank you for the experience you've had. Thank you for yourself for helping you through it. Give yourself a wee pat in the back for giving a good day, a good job, and then say maybe a wee prayer or just a thought for the staff that are coming in and taking over from you if they do. So you're going, you go through a door or whatever, just turn, look back the way, and that's it. With best wishes, but I'm done. And with any doors that close, visualise that as your day closing. Be thankful for the job that you've done. If you said, wish the new staff well. And then you have to maybe travel. If you can walk home, that's great, because then you are taking in the elements, you are grounding yourself with each step. But if you can, make sure that travel becomes where you delineate work to home life. It may well be that you could do a little meditation on the train, or if you're driving, make sure that you maybe have the radio on and you're singing and you're doing things that are more associated with life outside work, whether that's listening to a radio show or enjoying the music or whatever. It's important that travel becomes a space, a kind of almost like a space where work's there, and then I don't mean real life, but your own personal life starts there. And what else have I got? If you can go in, when you go in, have your shower. It's not always possible, but if you can have your shower and again visualise the water taking all this stuff out of your aura and putting it away. If you can't have a shower, I still think it's important to wash your feet or have a little foot bath. I like Epsom salts for grounding and maybe some peppermint oil, and then clean your feet off and pad about even inside in your bare feet, again grounding yourself. What else have I got? Yeah, eat well. Try and put good things in your body. I know if you've had a really stressful day, it's easy enough to grab a pizza or phone for a takeaway. But by keeping your body nice and healthy, you also encourage your aura to be strong as well. So try and eat as healthily as you can and have your treats, but it's about looking after your body and your mind and your soul and everything, so that there's no real gaps in anything, so that your aura is strong and you're protected a lot of the time. Then if you can, it's time to do some spiritual exercise to release the day. Now that could be 5 minutes of yogic stretching, could be some Tai Chi, or it could just be like a bit of dance, even if you're just dancing about like mad and enjoying the sense of your body moving, if that's possible. But do some sort of exercise that releases the day. If that's not mobility for you, if you're genuinely tired, maybe you could read a chapter from a spiritual book, something that puts you in a spiritual frame of mind and takes away from the hassle. And then you'll have stuff to do, don't get me wrong, maybe do things with family, whatever, but hopefully with all these things you'll be your old self and you'll not have carried the day's stress, the day's energies home with you. Now when you go to bed, I would say if you say prayers, say them when you get into bed. The prayers themselves will focus you, and once you've said your prayers, do a short meditation and set the intent for restorative sleep. Sometimes if you pray, a lot of people just fall asleep when they're praying. Prayers should be done with a degree of intent and a degree of respect, and I think it's better not to fall asleep doing your prayers, to be honest. But if you do, fair enough. But try and keep your prayers short enough that you can do them and really think about them as you do them. And then when you've finished that, that's the time to do a short meditation, ask for restorative sleep, and then do your meditation until you feel sleep coming on, and then just go into sleep, and that will do you the world of good as well. So you see, there's a lot that can be done in the course of the day. There's a lot of hints there. You're not going to do them all, but you could try and do 2 or 3 for the next 3 weeks, and then try some more. And the last tip, and it's important, and it refers to all the things I've told you, it's about honouring your gift. Now, if you have been given the gift of that you're an empath, that you're a psychic clairvoyant, or that you are a sensitive, it's time to stand up and be thankful and honour that gift. Now, if you honour that gift, you will do at least some of what's been asked in this video. because to honour the gift, you need to be able to protect it, look after it, and give it a longevity. And it's only by doing the things that we've discussed that you will protect yourself and allow that to happen. So the last piece of advice is to honour your gift. If you have true empathetic qualities, you will honour them. If you're just oversensitive, you won't. And I'll leave you with that thought. So many blessings. I hope you've liked this. Please comment, tell me what you think of it. And also, if you've any other videos of this type that you want me to do, please let me know. Ask your questions and I'll see what I can do for you. Many blessings now. Bye.